What stands the Barossa apart from the other wine regions in Australia is its really distinctive viticultural heritage. South Australia and the Barossa were settled predominantly by a large group of Europeans. The only place in Australia that this happened where the pioneers were European. These people, when they came, put their roots deep into the ground and have stayed despite all the changes throughout history. What they've left us with as a region is a viticultural heritage that can go on forever if it's properly maintained. And these old vineyards, of course, are the base that make some of the great Shiraz of the world and the Shiraz that have made the Barossa rightly famous. And it's a Shiraz from vineyards that can't be replicated elsewhere that will take this region into the future. As skillful as the winemakers are and committed as they are to make these wines, it's the access to these fantastic old vineyards that makes it possible.
There's a story about old vineyards making great wine. I think the story, and the real story about old vineyards making great wine, is the fact that their roots are down so deep. And so each year we get a consistency of quality. I have talked to your daughters, Erin and Kate, and I do actually mention this on trips when I travel overseas selling our wine, and even locally, that indeed this vineyard has already afforded me in 13 years to talk with three generations, which I mean, that's incredible in itself.
It's quite interesting how the generational activities happened on our property.
It's a dry argument.
It's starting to become a very dry argument, isn't it?
We need another bottle.
But you know, I learned everything I learned from my grandfather, so the generational change was a little bit slower, and you know, I was winning the arguments with my grandfather because you know, the styles of pruning is slightly different to what my dad prunes. But now, and Marcus said it before, I'm fairly busy in what I do. My dad seems to have a bit more time, and he's actually spending a lot of time with my 10-year-old son out in the vineyard with the whole, you know, pruning, and starting to teach him a few. I would say, most probably not the best way, but it seems to have got Dad through. So I can see in a few years' time that I'm going to be getting ganged up on, and this is how it's going to be done, Dad, and everything else like that.
Name is James Rosenzweig, and Rosenzweig family's been growing grapes here in the Barossa since the 1850s, and myself, we're 5th generation, and Dad's still in the game, and the next two, Nathan and Jake, are coming along and quite actively already involved.
So Jake, tell me, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Keep them growing grapes.
What about you, Nathan? What do you want to do when you grow up?
Keep them growing grapes.
Ah, good boys. There you go. Next generation's coming.
This is Lewis. This is my grandchild. Hello. Lewis, say hello. Say hello. Is that yummy?
He likes grapes?
He loves grapes, don't you?
The Barossa is a place which has got community, fresh air, the kids have got room to run. Our children have grown up in the vineyard. Since I left hospital, 3 days old, they're in tractors and trucks, and that's a lifestyle that doesn't happen in every place, and I think that's very dear to us. I think our children are very privileged to have that upbringing, and we're very privileged to be able to be a part of it with them. So yeah, the Barossa is the colours, the landscape, there's always different colours, different seasons. Yeah, it's constantly changing.
There's always something green.
Very exciting, very lucky.